Searching for drumsticks online can be pretty overwhelming. Shops like Sweetwater sell over 600 variations of drumsticks, so how on earth do you know what sticks to buy as a beginner rock drummer? In this video, let's look at the basics of stick selection with help from some of the big dogs like Drumeo, Thomann and Sweetwater. What some of the biggest rock artists are using, from the beast that is Estepario to the very famous drummer that is Lars Ulrich. Then we'll look at the sticks that you should probably start with if you're a beginner drummer. So let's get to it. If you're new to this channel, I'm Jack, and I've been writing and playing music since 2003, but only a year and a half ago did I start taking and playing drums seriously. When I first started, I was using the most random selection of sticks, from the cheapest pair I could find to some unknown engraved pair that I got as a Christmas present. But it's time that changed. I've got a lot to learn, but if you're up for learning with me today, let's get to it. Before we jump into the best sticks for rock music, let's get a basic understanding of stick selection. When researching sticks, you typically see 4 popular options. 7A, which is a lighter stick, good for younger players, playing jazz, and getting that good rebound when you're learning rudiments. 5A, which is a good moderate stick for most types of playing. 5B, which is a bit heavier than a 5A, and 2B, which is the heaviest one we'll talk about today, which I've heard being compared to a tree trunk. So first of all, the numbers 2, 5, and 7. The lower the number, the thicker the stick. The higher the number, the thinner the stick. And I remember this in my own weird way by comparing it to exercise. The more, higher number, you exercise, the thinner you'll get, and the less you exercise, lower number, the fatter you'll get, or the thicker you'll get. It's definitely a weird one, but it works for me. So what do the letters A and B mean on the drumstick? To simplify things completely, A is a lighter stick and B is a slightly heavier stick. There's more complexity to this, but that's all we need to know for now. Hickory and maple are the most common drumstick materials, with maple being slightly lighter, but honestly you can't go wrong with a hickory stick at first, and when you're shopping around you'll realise that a lot of them are hickory, as it's a cheap material to make but works really well. At the end of the day though, they all have the same purpose, don't they? To hit stuff with. So it's mostly going to be down to personal preference, but it's the type of drumming that we play that makes all the difference. Let's see what Sweetwater say about this.
Next step up for more driving and aggressive music would be the 5B, being a bit thicker than the 5A.
Okay, let's do some searching and find out what our favourite rock drummers are playing with. Last year I went to see a band called Girlfriends at a local venue near to me. The drummer Nick Gross is such a great drummer. He's so fast and plays so hard. And he also sessions for Goldfinger as well, which is insane. Anyway, at the end of the night I ended up catching his stick and noticed it was really worn down in the area where he does his rim shots. So for somebody that's playing so hard and damaging so many sticks, a thicker stick like a 5B or a 2B could be best for him. A load of rock artists like Tre Cool, for example, they have their own artist series of sticks. Tre Cool's got his signature 2Bs, Gabe from Prevail, also an amazing YouTuber. His sticks are called 55A, which is in between 5A and 5B. Then you've got Lars Ulrich from Metallica. His are super heavy and robust. It apparently has an alloy core and then plastic outside coating that you can replace if you damage it. And they're definitely for hard hitters. Probably, again, a 5B or a 2B. And then there's Estepario, and he surprises me with his signature stick, as he uses a stick that's slightly thinner than a 5A. But what we start to see here overall is that faster, more technical drummers tend to use lighter sticks, and hard-hitting smashers tend to use thicker and more robust sticks, which makes sense if you think about it. A lot of the time for these signature sticks, they won't tell you the exact letters and numbers because then you wouldn't buy the signature sticks. But obviously they've spent time developing the right length, the right thickness, and the right weight for their playing. So if you're just starting out and you want to learn rock music, which sticks should you go for? Well, just about every source online recommends that you go for a 5A to begin with because it's such an all-rounded stick. Take a look at these, for example.
I recommend the classic 5A stick because it's the all-rounder from the size.
With the 5A sticks, you can pretty much play any type of music, but they're still great for playing rock, and they're not going to fall to pieces if you start playing hard. 5As are still good for developing a loose grip and getting a good rebound with your rudiments. And what you can do from there is you can go thicker when you start to introduce rim shots, you play harder, or you start playing with more performance to your drumming, like this. When we start out on the drums, our muscles haven't developed fully, so whatever genre we want to play, we're going to have to start lighter anyway, in the same way that we would at the gym. I'm going to go and order myself some 5As and some 5Bs and see how I get on. My idea behind this is the 5A is for practicing rudiments and for learning songs, and the 5B will be for performing and when I want to start introducing rim shots into my playing. Let me know in the comments what your favourite stick is or what you've chosen to go ahead with. And I also want to know if there's anything important I've missed out in this video. At the end of the day, it's completely personal preference.
So it all comes down to trying different things and figuring out what you like.
But it's great to have the knowledge of what other drummers are using, and now we know where to start when we begin our drumming journey and where we can move on to in the future. Keep hitting stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.